All right, so the next part of the lesson, we still have the same directions, but again, our equation isn't in the form that we need it to be in. So for this problem, we need to complete the square to put it in the form that we want. So to do that, what we want to do is group the x's and the y's together, and then we're going to move this number over to the other side. And as we group them, just like with circles and parabolas, if we have a number in front of the squared term, we need to factor this number out of both of the terms that are the same, and then we're going to leave room to add in our completed the squared number. Okay, so to start that, I'm going to do it in a few steps. So first step, we're just going to rearrange. So we'll have 3x squared minus 6x plus y squared minus 8y, and then we're adding that 5 over. So equals 5. So from the x's, since we have a number in front, I'm going to start by factoring a 3 out of both of those terms. So 3, and then x squared minus 2x, and then we're going to leave room to complete the square, parenthesis, and then plus, so this one doesn't have a number in front, so I don't need to worry about factoring that one. So y squared minus 8y, and then we are going to leave room to complete the square, equals 5, and then we have to add both of those numbers to the right side. Now, because we're factoring out a 3 with our x's, we are eventually going to end up distributing that back to this. So that means on this side, I need to include the number that I factored out. Okay. All right, so again, we're going to factor, and then we're going to factor, and then here we are simplifying and combining. Okay. So the 3 just comes down, and then we'll have our parentheses. So x, and then negative 2 divided by 2 is a negative 1 squared. So negative 1 squared is 1. And then for the y's, we're going to do the same thing. So negative 8 divided by 2 is negative 4. And then negative 4 squared is 16. Okay. So now if we simplify, 3 times 1 is just 3. So we are combining those together. So 5 plus 3 is going to give us 8. And then if we add 16 to that, we will end up with 24. Okay. So our next step then is to divide everything by 24. Okay. So 3 over 24 is going to reduce to be 1 over 8. So this will be a 1 in front, which we wouldn't write. So just x minus 1 squared over 8 plus, and then we can't simplify that fraction, so we're just going to leave it as y minus 4 squared over 24 equals 1. Okay. So this is our equation for an ellipse in the form that we want it to be in. So again, if we just continue to practice rewriting, so looking at 9, again, we're going to group x's and y's together. So 3x squared plus 12x plus 2y squared minus 20y, and then we're going to subtract the 14 over, so it's going to become negative. And then we're going to factor and complete the square at the same time. So there's a number in front of our square term, so we need to factor out a 3 from both of the x's. So x squared plus 4x, and then we're going to leave room to complete the square. And then we need to factor out a 2 from both of the y's. So y squared minus 10y, and again we're going to leave room to complete the square, equals negative 14, and then we're going to add those same terms to the right side. So again, we're factoring out a 3, so I'm going to have to take 3 times my x number, and then we're factoring out a 2, so we're going to have to take 2 times the y number on this side to keep our equations balanced. Okay. So again, 3 comes down, so 4 divided by 2 is 2, so plus 2 squared, and then 2 squared is 4. Okay. And then plus, so 2 parentheses. So negative 10 divided by 2 is negative 5, and then negative 5 squared is 25. Okay. So again, we are just combining now. So we know that 3 times 4 is going to give us 12, and 2 times 25 is 50. So now we're taking negative 14 plus 12, so that'll be negative 2. And then plus 50 is 48. Okay. And then we want this to be a 1, so now we're going to divide everything by 48. And then we just simplify our fraction. So x plus 2 squared. And then 48 3 over 48. So these are both divisible by 3. So 48 divided by 3 is 16. And then y minus 5 squared. So again, we're simplifying. So these are both divisible by 2. So 48 divided by 2 is going to be 24 equals 1. So again, this is going to be our equation written in the standard form of an ellipse. And then from this form, if we needed to, we would be able to find the rest of this information that we did before.